Hey guys, what's going on? Happy Wednesday. Happy hour with Seth. It is Wednesday night, 10 p.m. And uh, as of going on air, I don't know if a Pope was picked, but I do know that the Knicks just won game 2. So that's pretty cool. That's actually very cool. I think it has to do, I don't know if I can reach this, so I'll just hold it up. I think it has to do with it's all about the shoes. Basketball is pretty much all about the shoes. So these are the New York Knicks dunks, and I think that that's why they won because I was wearing New York Knicks dunks. I also wear them to Met games because same colors, so it works out. It works out very well. Anyway, this week we're going to talk a little bit about podcasting. I'm going to occasionally look over at my phone in case there is communication. I have another technical issue because I'm not good at the technical aspect. So, really bad at the technical aspect. So if I'm looking at my phone, it's because I am trying to make sure that I'm in touch. I'm in touch. It's all about being in touch, but I'm gonna try not to look at it. Again, crazy weather. It's like 50, it's 30, it's 50, it's 30. I did hear from former neighbors that my block in Freeport has been getting flooded. So again, very happy to be in Seaford, mostly because of Club 4006. I think that this bar makes the house, really does make the house, but it also, I don't miss the floods. I don't miss the constant flooding. Um, Crazy week again with the Pope and with what's going on. I'm not going to say politically because I don't talk politics, but I saw a Babylon Bee today that was hysterical. Remember, it's satire. It's satire. People read those articles and they're like, oh, I know it's true because I saw it on the Babylon Bee. No, that's how you know it's not true because it's satire. We're going to have our usual match mishaps and our Tinder trials and tribulations, and of course, storage truths. I had a really crazy, and I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about it, but I had a crazy bidding experience that was it was bizarro, but we'll get to that. And my daughter's home from school. She's at her mom's, my ex. So she's at mom's, but I was thinking because the goatee is a few days in again. You're going to see it. You're not going to see it. You're going to see it. You're not going to see it because I'm not sure that I like it, but also I'm interviewing. So while I'm interviewing, I think I look more professional, clean shaven. But having said that, I don't know if you remember the show Knight Rider. So like when it would be Michael Knight's evil twin, he'd have the goatee, and it's like Jeannie's cousin who was Jeannie but with dark hair. And I think they did that with Bewitched with Samantha. I think her sister had dark hair. And for whatever reason, the alter ego is for guys he's badass and for women she's like slutty. God, I loved Jeannie's cousin, I guess it was. The dark-haired Barbara Eden. Loved, loved, loved her. Um, but I also loved the Elizabeth Montgomery's uh, doppelganger, her alter ego, whatever it was. I loved her. Um, I was like a pervy kid because I would watch all these shows and be like, ooh, but I don't know like if that's normal, if it's not normal. But so when I was getting dressed, I put on this cool Ed Hardy shirt, and and when I say like what I think I look like, I'm not. making fun of any. I looked like I could be a village person, village people person, member of the village people. I looked like a gay motorcycle cop, circa 1986, maybe. I looked and I put it on. The shirt is great. And I posted a picture of it on Facebook, not of what I look like in it, of the shirt itself. And I'm like, this shirt's great. There's a reason why the tag's on this. It's because I want to give a shout out to them. Jam stands. Jam stands. Oh, I'm not going to, you know the difference between jelly and jam. Stay tuned for the answer. That'll be in the 10:30 half hour. So when I put, uh, it wasn't this Harley shirt. I got a different Harley shirt, and bear with me. I see a shadow. Watch how I get rid of it. Mm, see that? No, I just made it 10 times worse. Okay. So that'll be in the podcast discussion. But I got this insane Harley Davidson shirt and with the skull and an eagle and you know, awesome shirt. And when I put it, but it's like a dark black. And when I put it on, it's blacker. It's more black. It can't be more black. When I put it on, I looked in the mirror and I'm like, huh, because Abby and I were out to eat, and the waitress says, "You remind me of Richard Rawlings." And he's that guy from Gas Monkey Garage. And I'm like, yeah, Richard Rawlings. Yeah. And I said to Abby, "You think I look like him?" And she said, "The guy from Gas Monkey Garage." And I said, "Oh, you know what? That guy's an asshole." And Abby said, "Oh, you know what? Then you remind me of Richard Rawlings." So I thought that was pretty funny because the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And I own that. I own that. I'm an asshole. I own it. So, but I thought that was pretty funny because, like, I was thinking looks wise, that would be like someone saying, "Oh, you're like a young Clint Eastwood." And I'd be like, "Yeah." And they'd say, "No, your face looks like a catcher's mitt." It doesn't have to do with being the badass. And I'd be like, "Oh." So, I also tonight, because Lent is over. I don't know what that means. If you notice the mug, it's Jesus playing drums. Jesus playing drums. See, another similarity. And should I have decided to run for Pope, I would have brought that up. He's Jewish. I'm Jewish. He plays drums. I play drums. I think it's a no-brainer. Um, but I don't even know what the not qualifications, what the requirements are. Tony Polamini said that he thinks that I have to be Catholic to be the Pope. I don't know if that's the case. I would assume it's the case. I feel like if I'm going to be the Pope, I should be Catholic. Although on Strong Island TV, I watched a great episode of God, and they were uh, Ed was reading Reverend Ed the Hat. Uh, huh. Ed the Hat is the same guy as Reverend Ed. That's why I never see the two of them together. So he was reading, and it's all the rules of kashrut, of kosher, about split hooves and chewing cud and not eating bottom feeders, shellfish, all the stuff that's delicious. And I used to follow those rules. I was kosher for a long time, um, and it was important to me. And uh, and then the irony is, I had my first shrimp when I had my first Jewish girlfriend. So that's kind of like, huh? He had a Jewish girlfriend, and then he had his first shrimp. That was 100 years ago. I mean, I'm feeling I'm feeling old. I'm feeling old. What just happened? I lost I don't know. I'm having some technological shit today. Um I really am. I hope everything's plugged in. I'm worried about the power cable. That would suck. Because it's only been what, a couple of minutes and that just went black. Let me just make sure I'm plugged in. Oh, you guys are seeing chins and chins. But, I feel like if I place the microphone correctly, I can hide some of these. Um, yeah, so I'm definitely feeling old, and when we get to the segment about that's the ice maker behind the bar. I don't know if you guys hear it through, the miracle of podcasting, but sometimes it scares the shit out of me. And it's a frequency that I hear very loudly. So I'll be playing drums across the room and I'll hear it and be like, oh my God, what was that? So, and it always surprises me, which is kind of silly because I live here and I hear it constantly. So, but I am feeling old. And part of it is the physicality of my work. It's tough. So it's very laborious, very labor intensive. Uh, so I was thinking, and I don't know what made me think of it. I do know what made me think of it, and you'll know when you hear it. But um, I feel like since that date with the chick who wanted to know all my meds, like my idea of safe sex now, I feel like if a girl knows CPR, that's safe sex, because at any time I feel like phew, it could, you're exerting yourself. If you're doing it right, then you're exerting yourself. So, like CPR would be safe sex to me. Totally different than my youth. Um, I also had a weird conversation today because I had a French cruller. I think the French cruller is the apex of the donut world. I think it's my mother loved them, and I maybe that's where I got my love for them. But the French cruller is the apex of the donut world. And if you've ever had, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, pommes frites, French fries in France, um, and I actually went there on my honeymoon. Uh, they weren't a fan of my people, uh, Americans. No, the Hebraic people. The south of France was lovely. Paris, nasty, nasty. However, I went um, because I, at the time, thought happy wife, happy life. Nonetheless, the French fries in France, oof, amazing. French bread, French bread. Who doesn't like French bread? The French dip. Arby's, I recommend, you can tell I'm having a rough, dry eyes night. Arby's French dip. Even when I get a regular roast beef, I pay extra for the French dip or juice. Fun fact, that was going to be my license plate on the Escalade was going to be Jous, boy, because it's pronounced Borjou. So it would be Jus boy on my license plate. And it got approved, but I went with my name instead. Uh, but my intention is I'm going to change it every 2 years. I was going to change it sooner, but I can't. Uh, I paid for it and I have 2 years. So I'm not going to throw that money away because I want to change the license plate. Also, personal plates, I feel like, I post a lot of pictures. So if someone wanted to take me out, if someone hated me, um, it's what used to get me pulled over when my uh, ex-wife's whatever. There were a few situations where I got pulled over for bullshit, and it was a huge inconvenience and quite annoying. And it was all bullshit but it also was because of my hysterically funny personal license plates. So, it's not like I'm, you know, like I have any sort of notoriety. Let me see. I want to just make sure that this is not that it's not Bobby saying, "Hey, uh, you know, no, I don't know what these guys are saying." Uh, anyway, I did get, and I don't want to give myself the Kenahara. I don't want to kibosh myself. I have. There are companies that I sent my resume to 6 months ago. 6 months ago in fucking November. And I'm getting calls now. I have 4 interviews Friday and Monday. 2 Friday, 2 Monday. I shouldn't say 4 Friday and Monday. 2 Friday, 2 Monday. Um, so I probably shouldn't mention the podcast because he's they'll be like, "What's this fucking guy? He's out of his fucking mind." Anyway, the French bread, the French cruller, the French fries. I feel like they should have dominated, and then you put in. I think their downfall was French dressing because that sucks. So they have all the good stuff. I mean, the French cruller. I don't care what anyone says. My mother was right. It's delicious, fucking delicious, so good. And French bread. Uh, I could eat a whole French bread by myself. Oh, take a small piece with brie. Take a small piece. I'm going to eat that fucking loaf of bread. It's delicious. I think the downfall had to be, uh, it had to be French dressing. French dressing sucks. And I know people have individual tastes, and some people may like it, and those people are wrong. Are wrong. It's terrible, terrible. I also think that when the Nazis just marched in, that might have been part of their downfall. What do I know? There's probably a podcast about it. Um, so I did a little research about podcasts, and some of these podcasts have crazy heat, crazy heat. Obviously, Joe Rogan is the number one podcast. Although I did see on, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, so don't have a tirade or a tirade or whatever. I did see uh, one list that said Spot, Spotify has uh, has some chick ahead of Joe Rogan. I can tell you who it is because I wrote it down. But when I was looking up podcasts, I came across bizarro information. Bizarre. So some Joe Rogan's podcast is just like he'll talk to anyone about anything. And I like to think of myself as the Hebrew Joe Rogan. Um, but I can't be Seth Rogen because that's that other guy. So I, I can't be Seth Rogen. I'm Seth Zone. It's the happy hour with Seth. Then someone told me that Seth Meyers, not funny, Seth Meyers has a podcast. And I was like, who the fuck is Seth Meyers? The crazy part is that on Facebook, I went through a brief period where any musician named Seth, I would friend. And um, because my goal was to put together a band of Seths, uh, a band of Seths, the Seth Tones, if you will. And yes, I did have a band called the Seth Tones, and we were fucking great. We were like a one-hit wonder band, um, often playing bands that had 2 hits. But if you had more than 2 hits, we were not going to play you. The idea was to be, and it's songs everyone knew. Here I go again with the dimming. I don't know if I should worry about that. Uh, if the podcast goes off for some reason, It's because I'm technologically challenged. Oh, I can't sit back more than this because I'm wearing my Cos Porta Pros. And Cos should endorse me. Cos should be like, yes, he keeps talking about Porta Pros. I'm going to lower this a little. Oh, I feel like I got too quiet. Now I'm now I'm leaning over. This is all there's a learning curve involved. Definitely learning curve. So yes. So here we go. What's a podcast? That was probably loud. It's this. However, there's different podcasts for different reasons. I would like to make a toast. Here we go again. Hold on one sec. Screwball. All right. Bobby's going to kill me. Go. Hold on. I should at least be holding the screwball. Here we go. All right. So the toast is going to be to podcasts. And the information you're about to find out is awesome. This is Screwball peanut butter flavored whiskey. So, wah, wah. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, two podcasts. That's delicious. Don't drink and drive. It's whiskey. That's fucking good. That is good. So there are different podcasts for like different groups and different topics. Obviously, I'm not saying anything that we don't all know, but I will tell you that for me, it's like therapy. For me, it's like I talk about whatever is going through my head. Um, Speaking of which, what do you think was going through Kurt Cobain's head? I can't even do it. Probably the roof of his mouth. You can do a podcast with the biggest, best equipment. You can do a podcast with a cell phone. I just ordered a teleprompter so I don't have to write my thoughts on cards, and it's being delivered tomorrow. So I was going to hire a cue card girl, um, but I didn't think that. Thought it would be controversial to have someone holding cue cards naked, standing behind the monitor. Um, some podcasts have a location. I watched one, the Anthony Cumia show, and I watched. Um, he does it from his basement, from the compound media, hence compound media. I'm just moving the phone. This is also good because I get to dictate what I'm doing to everyone. So, you know, you can spend $10 on equipment. You can spend thousands on equipment. It's all up to what you want to do. But these are the facts that I found. Um, Joe Rogan again. Guy has a huge podcast. By all accounts, he's number one. Although, like I said, there's that lady that I will talk about that does very well. She's on YouTube. There are a lot of YouTubers, and for whatever reason, mixed in with all this podcast info was uh, was info about the podcast hosts. And I'm going to tell you, most podcasts start out and they do four or five and they fizzle out. Very a small percentage. I'm not going to say a small percentage. A percentage don't make it to 10 podcasts. Um, Tonight's number 9 for me. Will I make it to 10? Stay tuned to find out. Same bat time, same Seth time, same Seth channel. But I passed the first hurdle of 5. So here's some bizarro, I think bizarro because I found it stunning. But like I said, I'm at next week's number 10, and I'm here to. This Jew is here to stay. I'm not going anywhere. So, because otherwise I have to hire another therapist and all of that stuff. Um, Top podcasters, Joe Rogan, number one. He's huge. The second one is Mel Robbins, the Mel Robbins podcast. She is an author and she is on YouTube and has millions of followers. Millions. So, oh, I don't like the way I'm hunched over and I have weird shadows. However, I think it's the screwball. No, probably the microphone. Whatever it be. Rotten Mango comes in at third. And then there's The Diary of a CEO. I actually listened to a few of them with Steve Bartlett. Fantastic. Here's the one that threw me off. Call Her Daddy. Call Her Daddy with Alex Cooper. Alex is a brilliant businesswoman. I can't remember who I think Sirius XM bought the podcast for $125 million. She does a lot of like speaking, public speaking. She makes bank, man. She makes money. Uh, Alex. Um, she's yeah, Alex Cooper. And I was like, Alex Cooper from I forget what blues band, and then I realized that was Al Cooper, and it was the Al Cooper band. Um, who watches all these podcasts? There's so much shit on television, so much. And on top of all the shit on television, my TV, I can do, it's like a Android TV. It's Samsung. So there's so much shit that I can do on the TV. I could watch anything I want to watch. I could watch um, what's it called? YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, all of it, Paramount, Peacock, all that shit. And I pay for half of it. I don't know. I pay for Peacock because of wrestling. I pay for Hulu because Black Friday it was $1. There's all kinds of deals, and it's like Sirius Radio. I pay like I don't know $1 or 2 a month, and then when it goes up to the regular rate, I threaten to leave, and they give me another deal where it's $1 or 2 a month. But who watches? 66% of consumers ages 12 to 34 watch podcasts on the regular. Now, this is what's fucked up. This study, the regular podcast viewers watch one a month. I watch two or three a day. Um, I can't bat one a month. So, I have to leave time for my 90-day fiance, for the 90-day franchise, because it's 90-day. 61% of U.S. consumers ages 35 to 54. 38% of U.S. consumers over 55 years old. 38%. That's a big number. So there's a lot of people watching a lot of stuff out there, and the fact that Joe Rogan uh, isn't topic specific. He's all over the place, much like myself. So here's the weird part. Keep in mind, Albert Einstein had a 160 IQ, 160, and he wasn't even a drummer. I know the world's okayest drummer has 160 IQ as well. No bullshit. Um, Joe Rogan's IQ is 127. I don't, uh, I don't know. Actor James Woods, his IQ is 180. Bill Gates is also 160, like myself and Albert Einstein. Snoop Dogg at 147. That's impressive. Zuckerberg, 152. Madonna shocked me. Hold on a sec. Let's fucking work. Oh, these are my noises. Madonna. Madonna is at 140 IQ. Lady Gaga, 166 IQ. Lady Gaga taking the lead. Kanye, he's a Jew, he's not a Jew. Kanye, he says he has a 133. Uh, all public records or whatever say he's at 115. Michael Jordan, number 23, 154. Those two YouTube guys, Jake Logan, Paul Logan. Logan Paul and Jake Paul. I'm very with it. Logan Paul and Jake Paul, 88 and 86. That's right. 88, 86. Um, so that's pretty low. I was looking for someone who was in that range. Justin Bieber's IQ is 70. So the Biebs, and he's loaded. Go figure. Um, Go figure. I wonder what the Pope's IQ was, but still no Pope. Still no Pope. Um, I didn't throw my hat in the ring, like I said. However, last week after the podcast, I dropped off drums in Levittown, and I'm driving home, and I went down Pope Street. It was a sign. I mean, it was a street sign. It was Pope Street. So um, I am going to ask Bobby to put on the first set of photos to jump right into. Let's do the sponsors, Bobby. Let's quickly hit on these sponsors, if you don't mind. So, Larry Scott, Pro Gear. I say it every week. He is Ludwig Larry, the master. Anything you need, he can get. Anything. Guitars, bass, Winnebagos, Corvettes. Larry's right in Jersey, and I want to say North Plainfield. But nonetheless, reach out to Larry on Facebook if you need anything at all. He's a great guy. He has great, great gear. The next sponsor is Go Go Granny Racing. I haven't pinpointed a date for her yet. I don't want to do next week. And then I think the following week. Oh, no, there's a week between the cruise and next week. I am going to ask her to be on the show. I think she would be an amazing guest. She'll bring the footage of the horsey giving birth, and to a horse. Craziness. Um, and then, of course, All American. I don't know if you caught the news, but Brian Kilmeade went to the White House and he brought Trump a Massapequa Chiefs shirt. So, so the deal was that if they brought All American, they would also, if they brought the sweatshirt, they bring 300 All American burgers. All I know is that the White House had All American burgers. Right across the parking lot, Marshall's Ice Cream Bar, which is, if I say it's a daily stop, no bullshit. I'd say I'm there 4 days a week, regular 4 days a week. It is chocolate vanilla cone swirled, rainbow sprinkles. Oh, fantastic. And Diane is great. Diane Marshall. The whole family is great. All the people who work there are great. So I know that sounds cliche, or I'm not pandering. And I don't get like free ice cream. I fucking buy it, and it's worth every cent. Um, there's one other that I don't have a logo for, but it's the place that makes this all happen, and not Club 4006. It's Paradise Studios, Strong Island TV, Bobby Lacera. Um, I couldn't, obviously, I couldn't do this myself. I can't put the fucking computer on without having to check. So Friday nights they do like an open mic, which has everything. It's people playing instruments, people singing, people telling stories, telling jokes. Um, I do I do an interpretive dance in a thong. Uh, no, I don't. But it's really it's a cool time, and I highly suggest that you check it out. With that said, I should probably talk about my week of uh, of online dating, and I laugh because I jokingly tell the young ladies that I speak with that I'm conducting a social experiment, um, because I feel like, first of all, if anyone sees this, they'll be like, "You're a fucking asshole," because I met you on Match and then you're talking about it. Um, I did tell Nancy about that. I mentioned her. She didn't seem pissed. She didn't seem happy, but she didn't seem pissed. She was like, "So I made a great impression," and I said, "Yeah, I had all positive things to say." But there are, as far as the Match mishaps, I'm going to ask I'm going to ask Bobby to put up. There was a young lady that she's she must have said 10 times in her profile, "No one night stands, no friends with benefits. I'm more than just a body." Bravo, bravo! It's about time someone says it. However, she didn't even put her fucking face in her profile pictures. It was pictures of her body, different parts of her body. Um, I I mean, like, I don't know if they're not inappropriate, but they're kinda slutty. Um, so if Bobby could put up, uh, the pics of, uh, I don't even know how to describe it, of the body parts, um well, any of the ones you put up, I could tell the story to, 'cause, uh oh, this I should have fucking started the show with. I think I should add that into the opening, because I do say fuck a lot. So that works. That works. And, and there was another one that this is true. This is 100% true. My life has a superb cast. Excellent cast. I have no clue what the fucking plot is, but I think that's why I say it's as much about the journey as it is the destination. As far as the Tinder and Match, I saw a meme that said, "I I've been alone." Oh, I'm going to screw it up. I've been alone so much, but I think that I'm the one. But here's this chick from Tinder. Uh, the first of all, every day my Tinder count of people who like me goes up, and I mean it goes like 58, 60, 62 daily. So look at the number up top on this one. I think it says 56 likes. And then a few hours later, and these are not, these are not hideous creatures. These are attractive. So this is 58 likes. And I crossed out the people's names because uh, they like me. So I don't want to fuck that up. 61 likes was a few hours later. You will notice a theme. Um, like how Spinal Tap was big in Japan. I am popular amongst these beautiful young uh, Asian women. I think is the correct term. Uh, so one of the women, seriously, the photos of her are just like Bobby's going to put them up, and you're going to be like, Seth's a perv, but it wasn't Seth sending them. These are what's posted, and of those 61 girls, probably 50 want marriage, like marriage right away, like, and they like me. So somehow they think Seth is like marriage material. That's, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, and they've spoken to me and we've messaged and they're still like, oh, Seth is what I'm interested in. Um, that's fucked up in itself. And I mean, you could do worse. It's the old cliche that with me you get a comedian, a porn star, and a mental patient all rolled into one. It's pretty much the truth. Bobby, put up the I don't remember if it said Tinder or Match, but the photos. It's these are wait until you see these. So again, not a one night stand, not interested in friends with benefits. This is uh, this young lady's profile photos. So the first one is her tuchus, her ass, her hiney. And then her next one, uh, again, she doesn't show her face. So I don't know if you're supposed to say, oh, look, she shops at the store with the blue bags, or what a smart outfit. Um, but again, no face. Is she a butterface? This young lady, that's it's not nude because you don't see her boobies. But like that was, I said, send me a pic so I can put your face to the name, to the conversation. And that's what she sent me. And I was like, wow. And she sent it when we were sitting, I was with my cousin Brian in Thai show sushi. And that's when she sent it. And I'm like, the waitress said, show me a picture of the rolls that you guys want to order. And when I opened my phone, that was the photo. But again, this don't say to me no one night stands, no uh, friends with benefits, and that's the photo you post. That's not exactly what you'd put on going to the convent. So this this girl again, there's not one face shot, um, and it's a lot of hers. Some are very artsy, black and white. But I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. It reminded me of with COVID, with the masks. How do we, like everyone's wearing masks? So if you were on one of these sites during COVID, how the fuck do you even see? What if their face is all jacked up, but all you see is beautiful eyes? It's these shots are impossible, impossible. And, looking for a long-term partner. And I don't know. I guess any photo could look suggestive, but and also listen, highlight what you got. Show your best assets. If boobies are your thing, bam, bam. Oh, this was that same girl with the hiney. This is the hiney girl. And like, what do you say? I mean, I guess it's reassuring she doesn't have a dick. Um, but these are her photos, and come on. I mean, she doesn't have a dick like one of the other girls that I went out with. So it's just like, holy smokies, that's what's out there. Quick dating story before we talk a little bit about storage units. I went out with a young lady, and she said, just so you know from the get-go, I'm picking up the tab. And I said, just so you know from the get-go, I'm ordering the most expensive thing on the menu. She's like, oh, you're adorable. And I said, yeah, I'm also very serious. Uh, she said she was picking up the tab because she didn't want to feel obligated to fuck around because I paid for dinner. So then in my head, I'm thinking, wait, am I obligated to fuck around? I don't want to fuck around if I don't want to fuck around. So that is where I was like, this makes zero sense. Bobby, I think there's a picture of her as well. There might not. I don't know. I am just, my eyes are killing me. So I think we're going to, dinner was great. We kissed. That was it. I feel like it was money well spent by her. However, I don't know. I don't know. So, and now into storage truths. Bobby, if you could put up my beautiful new sign for storage truths, look at that, people. Is that gorgeous? I think that's gorgeous. So, that is beautiful. So, the first storage unit was you're going to see all across the board. The first one, I think it's obvious why I wanted it. I'm pretty sure it's obvious why I wanted it. I might have spotted some drums. It's a box from Tama, however you want to pronounce it. I wanted that fucking unit. It is still being bid on, and like there were a few pictures of it, and everywhere you looked, it's just drums, 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 drums. Um, then there are other units that I have to take notes as to why I want them. This one, that snare drum alone is worth probably $1,000, and the bidding was at maybe $200. So I was like, I got to bid on that. I'm waiting for this one. Wait until you see the picture. It looks like I, I can't even describe it till you see the photo. And the other thing is, I'm only bidding very locally now. So, because I don't want to have to schlep. The schlepping's the worst part. So, some units are just, I'll spot something that I think is worth keeping or worth selling, and then I'm completely wrong. So I'm waiting for this one to come up because if it's the one I think, I didn't take good notes on these because I knew as soon as I see the pic, I know I can talk about it. But we're waiting. It might not be opening. It might be a bad. I send Bobby so much stuff, and then he has to go through it. Give it a sec. There we go. So this one is a lot of shit, but also there's something in it that I want. Something in it appeals to me. So whatever that might be, I say, okay, I'm going to bid up to whatever. Also, look at what the bid is on this. It's cheap enough that if I get it and throw 80% of it out, I throw 80% of it out. Who gives a shit? So I'm waiting on the next one. I think I have one more set. Oh, this one had the keyboard. I have this philosophy where there's keyboards, there's drums. I'm right on this unit. I happen to be spot on this unit. But there are drums in it. And I said that's definitely worth bidding. Definitely worth bidding. Um, I cut myself off at $400 because it's not worth it beyond that. Uh, but there are units that look like a bomb went off. And then I say, is it worth doing? Is it worth getting? And the answer 90% of the time is absolutely not. So look at this. Neat, clean, and that's what I like to bid on. The boxes are part of the game. It's all part of the game. What's in the boxes? I don't know, but I want to find out. So I say, you know what? I'm going to place a bid and we'll see where it goes. That is the majority of what I win for whatever reason, mostly because they're cheap. That unit, I don't remember what it went for, but I just won it and it was cheap. And I'll donate 90% of what's in it. 90% gets donated. So it is what it is on that stuff. And it's not so terrible. You're making donations, you're making some people happy. And that's the bottom line. There was a unit with a BMW, and the hood was up, so you could see there's an engine, but you don't know. Hey, does it run? Does it not run? Is it worth getting? I don't know. So the person wound up paying for it on the last day before the auction. That happens. It happens more often than not. Um, and oh, I dropped my glasses. Trying to be cognizant of the time. I think I told you I have to keep it under like 55 or 56 minutes. Hold on, you get to see the bar. Here's my glasses. So 51. That works. 51. That definitely works. So with that said, let's do a toast. This week I have coming to a close two huge auctions. Let's see what happens. Let us see what happens. Everyone have a great, great week. Enjoy. Be good and be the good. And Bobby, take us out, my friend.